You grab bottled water because it feels like the safe choice. Clean, pure, better than tap. But a 2024 study from Columbia University and Rutgers found an average of 240,000 plastic particles in a single liter of bottled water, most of them so small they can pass directly into your bloodstream. Some brands aren't even spring water at all. They're filtered tap water in fancier packaging. Today we're ranking 10 popular bottled water brands you should think twice about, then showing you 4 smarter alternatives. Number 1 might be sitting in your fridge right now. Bottled water is a $20 billion industry built almost entirely on the idea of purity. Clear bottles, mountain imagery, words like natural and pristine. But the FDA regulates bottled water far less strictly than the EPA regulates tap water. And independent testing has repeatedly found issues ranging from microplastics to PFAS, forever chemicals, in some of the biggest brands on the market. We reviewed peer-reviewed research, consumer reports testing, and FDA labeling rules to find out which brands deserve your trust, and which ones are selling you something far less pure than the label suggests. Let's start with 2 brands nearly everyone assumes is spring water. Number 10, Aquafina. Aquafina is one of the best-selling bottled water brands in America, sold in nearly every restaurant and vending machine in the country. But Aquafina isn't spring water. It's purified municipal tap water, sourced from public water systems and run through a filtration process. PepsiCo confirmed this publicly years ago after facing pressure from consumer advocacy groups, and the label now includes the phrase, public water source, in small print. The purification process does remove many contaminants, but you're essentially paying a premium for filtered tap water in a portable bottle. The takeaway: if convenience is what you're after, that's fine. Just know you're not getting mountain spring water. Next, Aquafina's biggest competitor, running the exact same playbook. Number 9, Dasani. Dasani, owned by Coca-Cola, follows the identical model. Municipal tap water, filtered through reverse osmosis, then fortified with added minerals like magnesium sulfate and potassium chloride to improve taste. Like Aquafina, the source is disclosed in small print as public water source. In 2004, Dasani faced a major recall in the UK after its water was found to contain bromate, a potentially cancer-causing byproduct that formed when the company added ozone to the water during purification. The US formula uses a different process, but the incident remains one of the most cited cautionary tales in bottled water history. The lesson: added minerals don't make tap water into spring water. They just make it taste like it. Coming up, a brand whose entire identity is built around glacier purity, with a labeling detail most shoppers never notice. Number 8, Glacio Smart Water. Smart Water markets itself around the word vapor distilled, implying a pristine, almost scientific purification process, paired with electrolytes for taste. In reality, vapor distillation is simply a more energy-intensive way of purifying source water, and Smart Water's source, like many others on this list, is municipal water rather than a glacier or natural spring, despite the brand's icy glacier-inspired packaging and imagery. The added electrolytes are minimal, not enough to meaningfully replace what you'd lose from sweating during real exercise, according to sports nutrition researchers, who note that true electrolyte replacement drinks contain far higher concentrations. The takeaway: the smart branding is packaging, not a meaningfully different formula from filtered tap water. Next, one of the most recognized names in spring water, with a sourcing controversy that made national headlines. Number 7, Poland Spring. Poland Spring has marketed itself as genuine Maine spring water for over 170 years. And unlike the brands above, it is a real spring water product, not filtered tap water. That's a point in its favor. But in 2017, a class action lawsuit alleged that some of Poland Spring's water sources didn't meet the legal definition of a spring under FDA standards, claiming certain sources were closer to groundwater wells than natural upwelling springs. The case was eventually dismissed, but it highlighted how loosely the term spring water can be applied and verified. The takeaway: even genuine spring water brands face real scrutiny over how strictly they define their own sourcing claims. We're about a third through this list. If one of these brands is sitting in your fridge right now, tell us in the comments. You're not alone. Number 6, Nestlé Pure Life. Pure Life built its brand around affordability and the reassuring word pure printed directly on the label. The water is purified using a multi-step process that includes reverse osmosis, similar to Aquafina and Dasani, sourced from a mix of municipal and groundwater sources depending on the bottling plant. Nestlé's water sourcing practices have faced ongoing criticism from environmental groups over groundwater extraction in drought-affected regions, including reporting on operations in California and Michigan, where local communities raised concerns about water table depletion. The takeaway: the environmental cost of extraction is a separate issue from water safety, but it's one increasingly relevant to where your bottle actually comes from. Next, a brand that leans heavily on Fiji imagery, while making some very specific testable claims. Number 5, Fiji Water. Fiji Water markets itself as untouched, remote, and naturally filtered through volcanic rock, commanding a significant price premium over domestic brands. In a widely reported 2006 case, Testing Group Environmental Working Group compared Fiji water samples to Cleveland tap water and found the tap water actually outperformed Fiji water on several water quality metrics tested at the time, a finding Fiji water publicly disputed. The bottled product is also shipped thousands of miles from Fiji to U.S. shelves, giving it one of the largest carbon footprints of any bottled water brand sold domestically. The takeaway: exotic sourcing doesn't automatically mean superior quality, and the price often reflects branding and shipping, not purity. Next, a brand whose plastic bottle itself has become a documented health conversation. Number 4, Ozarka. Ozarka, another Nestlé-owned brand, markets itself as sourced from natural springs across Texas and the surrounding region. Like Poland Spring, it faced scrutiny in the same 2017 class action lawsuit questioning whether several of its listed sources met the legal definition of a spring. Separately, testing conducted by Consumer Reports in 2020 on multiple bottled water brands, including several regional Nestlé-owned labels, found detectable levels of PFAS, man-made forever chemicals, linked in research to immune and hormonal effects, though at levels below current federal limits in most samples tested. The takeaway: below the legal limit doesn't mean zero, and PFAS accumulate in your body over years of repeated exposure. 3 brands left before the top of the list, and this next one is aimed at the health-conscious, alkaline water crowd. Number 3, Essentia. Essentia markets itself as ionized alkaline water with a pH of 9.5, claiming better hydration than standard water. But the Mayo Clinic and multiple independent nutrition researchers have stated there's limited credible scientific evidence that alkaline water provides meaningful health benefits over regular water for most healthy people, and your stomach's natural acidity neutralizes much of the pH difference almost immediately after you drink it. Essentia carries a significant price premium over standard bottled water specifically to fund this alkaline processing. The takeaway: you're likely paying extra for a marketing claim that hasn't held up strongly under independent scientific review. Next, one of the fastest-growing water brands in the country, riding a wave of raw and unfiltered marketing. Number 2, Liquid Death. Liquid Death built a massive following through edgy punk rock branding and the tagline, "Murder Your Thirst," appealing heavily to younger consumers who want their water choice to feel like a personality statement. Strip away the branding and it's mountain source water in an aluminum can, a genuinely more recyclable package than plastic, which is a real environmental positive. But the company has faced criticism for its aggressive marketing toward younger audiences, and nutrition communicators have pointed out that the premium price reflects branding far more than any meaningful difference in the water itself. The takeaway: the can is a legitimate sustainability upgrade. The price tag mostly buys you the aesthetic. And now, the brand that tops this list, not for one dramatic issue, but because of how many of these concerns overlap in a single product. Number 1, Great Value Purified Water. Walmart's store brand exists purely to undercut name brands on price, and for years it succeeded simply by being the cheapest bottle on the shelf. But the same 2024 Columbia and Rutgers nanoplastics study that opened this video tested multiple budget bottled water brands and found that cheaper, thinner plastic bottles tend to shed more microplastic particles into the water over time, particularly when exposed to heat during shipping and storage. Great value is purified municipal water, run through standard filtration with no added minerals, sold in some of the thinnest, most heat-sensitive plastic packaging in the category. It tops this list because it combines nearly every concern raised today: tap water sourcing, minimal added value, and packaging most likely to leach plastic particles. Now that you know what to avoid, here are 4 smarter alternatives. 4 better alternatives. A quality home filter, like Berkey, or a certified reverse osmosis system. Filters your own tap water to a standard equal to, or better than most bottled brands, for a fraction of the long-term cost and zero single-use plastic. Mountain Valley's Spring Water. Glass bottle. Genuine spring-sourced water packaged in glass, eliminating the plastic leaching concern entirely. Topo Chico. Glass bottle. Naturally sourced mineral water with a long, transparent sourcing history and glass packaging. A reusable stainless steel bottle filled from a NSF-certified tap or filtered source, the single most cost-effective, lowest plastic exposure option available, and the one most environmental and health researchers recommend first. The real lesson: purified often just means filtered tap water with better marketing, and cheap plastic bottles carry their own hidden cost. Check the label's fine print before you buy. If this changed how you'll shop next time, hit like, subscribe for more food and product investigations, and tell us which brand surprised you most.